Kite surfing and snowboarding are actually very, very similar. We're figuring out, right? There are boards involved. There's water. Some of it's frozen. Some of it is seawater. Balance, and a lot of time kind of in solo flight. I'll start with you, Bruno. Do you think that kite surfing and you are a good match? Does your personality match that sport?
Yes, I think perfectly. Definitely the kiteboarding. It's not the old sport. It's a new sport, like maybe 10 or 11 years. And before I do windsurfing, surfing, and I don't feel the same enjoy to kite. To kite is very. You have a feeling to be free everywhere. The kite gives you the spirit for the 3 dimensions all the time, and you don't have around you. You have nothing, just a kite and some lines to move on the sky like the bird. So you feel perfectly with the nature, and for me, it's a perfect sport at this moment to be just one-on-one with the nature.
Well, Gretchen, how do you feel about that? I mean, it's you and a board and a mountain most of the time. Is that a similar feeling?
Yeah, I mean, just being outdoors, you know, in the middle of the mountains, it's quiet all around you. It's an amazing feeling. It's a very simple life out in the mountains, and also, you know, part of what I do is also push myself physically and mentally every day, and I love that aspect of the sport. Also, when I first started snowboarding, it was very much considered a fad still, and I love that everyone was just kind of making the rules up as they went along, and it was more about self-expression than about anything else.
Well, tell me about your first experience with snow, Gretchen. I think we have a photo of you. I don't know if this is your first experience with snow, but it certainly was an early one.
Yeah, my first experience, I actually was very lucky. My family moved to Aspen, Colorado when I was 10 years old, and I went to a private school called Aspen Country Day School. Every Wednesday we had a half day off to go up on the mountain. And one of those Wednesdays, I learned how to snowboard. And mainly because I have 3 brothers, 2 are older, and I wanted to do whatever they were doing and do it just as well, and they were both snowboarders. So that's kind of why I wanted to start. And automatically, I loved it. It was just such an amazing feeling. I was kind of getting bored with skiing, and this was a new challenge, and I was pretty much hooked right there.
Bruno, how about you? What was your first experience with water?
My first experience was in 2 years old. My father put me on the board for the windsurfing, and I go on the back. And I remember one feeling is so strange because 2 years old, normally you don't remember nothing. But I'm on the back of the board. I grab the board, and my father sailing or windsurfing, and the gust come, and he accelerates, and I crash on the water. And just play on the water, just like that. I look my father move, and my mother on the beach is scared about that. And it was a very strange feeling because now I remember about that. And it was my first feeling on the water. So it's nice moment.
Gretchen, how about you? Again, you started when you were a kid, but I would assume that you can look at snow differently than most of us can. How do you read snow? How do you read a mountain?
Yes, a little bit.
Well, you know, for me, in snowboarding, there's so many different aspects to the sport. I specialize in the half pipe, but that doesn't mean I'm just riding the half pipe. I'm also in the backcountry, riding powder and cliffs and big lines, and then get into the park, and I'm hitting jumps and rails. So there's so many different aspects to the sport, and whatever you're riding, it takes you have to know the conditions. And you know, in the pipe, if you drop into the pipe and it's icy, you're going to ride a lot different than if you're dropping into a pipe that has soft snow and it's slushy from warmer temperatures. And then same thing in the backcountry. That's where you have to be knowledgeable about snow conditions when you're in the backcountry, because now you're dealing with things like avalanches, and you have to understand, you know, the history of that area, what direction the slope is facing, you know, the prior snow history, if it's been an early snow season, and how heavy the snow has been or how light it's been, and then the changes throughout the season. That all depends on the different layers of snow, and you can figure out if that certain area might slide or if it's safe. So backcountry is where it's really, really important to understand the snow. And then getting the park and the pipe, that's just feeling and being aggressive if the conditions are tough.
I saw your page of questions, perhaps, for Gretchen. Do you have a question that you want to ask Gretchen?
Yeah, so it's I saw on your book, on your website, that you do the surfing, but you never tried kite surfing?
No.
Why not? Because for you, it's a perfect match. You can go on snow, do snowboarding. You can go up on the mountain and just down with the snowboard. You can do surfing with a kite. You can do everything with this.
Actually, my coach, one of my U.S. team snowboard coaches, he kite surfs. We went to New Zealand to train a couple summers ago, and on our way home, we stopped in Fiji, and we all surfed, and he brought his kiteboard, and he went kiteboarding. He's pretty good. I was impressed.
Okay, Bruno, tell me what you're doing with kite surfing to promote peace throughout the world now.
So what I'm trying is, for me, the kiteboarding is a perfect match to transfer, to give the message. And in 2009, I crossed the Jordani, Egypt, Israel with a bluebird on the kite, the dove, to deliver the peace message for the free government just after the end of the war.
Is that what picture are we looking at now?
So this picture was a picture in Egypt and Israel, I'm sorry, just between Jordani and Egypt. Is Aqaba Gulf. And I work with the Peace and Sport Foundations to just deliver the peace message with the sport. So I'm ambassador for these foundations, and we try to promote the peace with the sport.
All right, now, while Gretchen, I think you're going to enjoy seeing this. We're going to pull up the video of Bruno kite surfing around Cape Horn. And Bruno, I'm going to ask you what that was like, but you're the only person in the world to have done that. What kind of a feeling is that, to be the only person in the world that's done something?
It feels strange, like a strong feeling and strong emotions. And it's like yesterday, I do the crossing just in Brittany for the two journalists, and I was the first guy to do that at this moment. And it's very strange because it's like adventure. You don't know what's happening for the next 10 minutes or 1 hour. And it's always a feelings to be strong, but in the same time you feel that you are like everybody. And so this is the first strange feeling. And the second feeling was, so after the first day, the first tentative of the crossing, the big storm come like with 60 knots, with 6-7 meters wave, so it's like maybe 15, 18 feet. And so during all the day, you stay on the boat, very, not the small boat, it was a 20 meters boat, but you have 10 people on the boat, and with some journalists, some photographer, and the guy is not ready to have this spirit on this strange adventure. So the person starts to stress and push you a lot of pressure around you and say, okay, Bruno, yesterday you crossed the Cape Horn, so maybe tonight, but tomorrow we can come back just like that, and that's it, you know. So it was a very strange feelings. And the next morning, the skipper of the boat wake up me at 6 o'clock in the morning, and he told me, okay, it's today, you need to cross today because after the wind will be not good. So I watching outside, and it was like 5-10 centimeters snow on the boat at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I said, I don't want to go to kite now. It's too early. It's too cold. And the guy said, no, it's now. If you want to cross everything, it's now. So it was a strange feeling to want to go in this place, and when you see the difficulty outside, because at 7 o'clock I go on the water, so to start to launch a kite, I need to go on the water, to swim a little bit, and the temperature of the water was around 3 degrees Celsius, so it was not very enjoyed time to go at 7 o'clock in the morning with the snow, with 3 degrees Celsius on the water, and just to start a kite.
Well, Gretchen and Bruno, thank you for this great conversation. And Demontina, is she there? Can we say goodbye?
Yes, I'm here.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, thanks, Denise.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
Thanks.
Thanks.